And joining me now via Zoom is independent Middle East strategic intelligence analyst Avi Melamed. Avi, thanks for being with us. The decision to hit the Hamas political leader Haniyeh in the Iranian capital certainly made a bold statement. The message to Hamas is clear. What's the message, though, to Iran? And what do you think is their likely response?
Well, again, assuming Israel is beyond the killing of Haniyeh, as you know, Israel did not claim any responsibility, but the message is actually to Iran that the game rules are now changed. I think that this whole series of events for the last less than 24 hours actually, to a large extent, is reshuffling the Iranian game cards. Up until now, the Iranians' master plan, as far as they are concerned, to eliminate Israel was going well. I mean, they're using proxies. They are the one dictating the pace, and basically the Iranians stayed out immune. Now there is a change in that regard, that the Iranian regime is now following the attack, and particularly the hitting Haniyeh in Tehran. The Iranian regime is now facing a double dilemma. So I think that in that regard, what we are looking at is an Israeli message to the Iranian regime that now there is some change, maybe a significant one, in the game rules.
Avi, we're now on day 299 of the war in Gaza. The fighting inside Gaza has been somewhat low intensity for some days now. Has the North become the most important strategic front? And do you expect that Israel will deploy forces toward the north to focus on the potential war with Hezbollah?
Yes, definitely. I think that what we're going to see particularly now is we're going to see the shift of the way from the story of Gaza towards the northern front, and rightly so, because in the end of the day, this is the big story now and in the visible future. Obviously, you mentioned before talking about contemplating possible Hezbollah's retaliation or even Iranian retaliation. So obviously the whole shift is now moving to the north. Because of the magnitude of possible deterioration in the north, obviously the geostrategic ramifications are accordingly. However, of course, it all depends upon the question, what would be the features, the size, and the outcome of what is likely to be upcoming Hezbollah/Iranian retaliation?
Avi, only a few days ago, it appeared that a hostage for ceasefire deal was getting really close. Does it appear that chances for a deal are now fading amid these other developments? Is the deal no longer a priority for the Israeli government? It doesn't seem to be that it's as much a priority as it was some days ago.
Well, look, as you probably know, in Israeli public opinion, there are different opinions regarding that specific question. I don't feel that I need to delve into that specific aspect. My perspective would be, however, is that we may see some interesting shift because, as I said before, we are going to see the shifting of way from Gaza Strip to the story of the North. It may also, in a kind of like convoluted process, will result in a process where it could stimulate a deal in the context of the story of Gaza. The reason for that is that we should remember that the whole involvement of Hezbollah in the war started October 8 when the Secretary General of Hezbollah, Nasrallah, basically says, look, once there is going to be a ceasefire, we are going to stop the war. We are not heading towards neither ceasefire with Hamas, and it seems like we are heading towards further escalation with Hezbollah in the north. So we may find ourselves in a situation where the nature of the relationship between those two components, ceasefire in Gaza Strip and the escalation or the continuation of the skirmish with Hezbollah, is going to be shift actually, and what is going to impact one the other would be the further escalation with Hezbollah that will impact, I hope, boosting a deal in the context of the hostages.
Let's hope so. Let's bring them home. Thank you so much for being with us, Avi Melamed.
Of course.
And now